What is the universe? The universe is everything. It includes all of space, and all the matter and energy that space contains. It even includes time itself. Of course, it includes you, as are the other planets and their many dozens of moons. Along with asteroids and comets, the planets orbit the Sun. The Sun is one among hundreds of billions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and most of those stars have their own planet. The Milky Way is but one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. All of them, including our own, are thought to have supermassive black holes at their centers. The stars and all the galaxies and all the other stuff that astronomers can't even observe are all part of the universe. It is, simply, everything. Though the universe may seem a strange place, it is not a distant one. Wherever you space is only 62 miles, 100 kilometers, away. Space is just a few dozen miles above your head. It's below you too. About 8,000 miles, 12,800 kilometers, below you. In fact, you're technically in space right now. Humans say out in space as if it's there and we're here, as if Earth is separate from the rest of the universe. But Earth is a planet, and it's in space and part of the universe just like the other planets. It just so happens that things live here and the environment near the surface of this particular planet is hospitable for life as we know it. Earth is a tiny, fragile exception in the cosmos. For humans and the other things living on our planet, practically the entire cosmos is a hostile and merciless environment. How old is Earth? Our planet, Earth, is an oasis not only in space, but in time. It may feel permanent, but the entire planet is a fleeting thing in the lifespan of the universe. For nearly 2/3 of the time since the universe began, Earth did not even exist. Nor will it last forever in its current state. Several billion years from now, the Sun will expand, swallowing Mercury and Venus, and filling Earth's sky. It might even expand large enough to swallow Earth itself. It's difficult to be certain. After all, humans have only just begun deciphering the cosmos. While the distant future is difficult to accurately predict, the distant past is slightly. The decay of isotopes on Earth and in asteroids. Scientists have learned that our planet and the solar system formed around 4.6 billion years ago. How old is the universe? The universe, on the other hand, appears to be about 13.8 billion years old. Scientists arrived at that number by measuring the ages of the oldest stars and the rate at which the universe expands. They also measured the expansion by observing the Doppler shift in light from galaxies, almost all of which are traveling away from us and from each other. The farther the galaxies are, the faster they're traveling away. One might expect gravity to slow the galaxies' motion from one another, but instead they're speeding up and scientists don't know why. In the distant future, the galaxies will be so far away that their light will not be visible from Earth. Put another way, the matter, energy and everything in the universe, including space itself, was more compact last Saturday than it is today. The same can be said about any time in the past. Last year, 1,000,000 years ago, 1,000,000,000 years ago. But the past doesn't go on forever. By measuring the speed of galaxies and their distances from us, scientists have found that if we could go back far enough, before galaxies formed or stars began fusing hydrogen into helium, things were so close together and hot that atoms couldn't form and photons had nowhere to go. A bit farther back in time, everything was in the same spot. Or really the entire universe, not just the matter in it, was one spot. Don't spend too much time considering a mission to visit the spot where the universe was born, though, as a person cannot visit the place where the Big Bang happened. It's not that the universe was a dark, empty space and an explosion happened in it from which all matter sprang forth. The universe didn't exist. Space didn't exist. Time is part of the universe, and so it didn't exist. Time, too, began with the Big Bang. Space itself expanded from a single point to the enormous cosmos as the universe expanded over time. How has our view of the universe changed over time? Human understanding of what the universe is, how it works and how vast it is has changed over the ages. For countless lifetimes, humans had little or no means of understanding the universe. Our distant ancestors instead relied upon myth to explain the origins of everything. Because our ancestors themselves invented them, the myths reflect human concerns, hopes, aspirations or fears rather than the nature of reality. Several centuries ago, however, humans began to apply mathematics, writing and new investigative principles to the search for knowledge. Those principles were refined over time, as were scientific tools, eventually revealing hints about the nature of the universe. Only a few hundred years ago, when people began systematically investigating the nature of things, the word scientist didn't even exist. Researchers were instead called natural philosophers for a time. Since then, our knowledge of the universe has repeatedly leapt forward. It was only about a century ago the astronomers first observed galaxies beyond our own, and only a half-century has passed since humans first began sending spacecraft to other worlds. In the span of a single human lifetime, space probes have voyaged to the outer solar system and sent back the first up-close images of the 4 giant outermost planets and their countless moons. Rovers wheeled along the surface on Earth orbiting space station, and the first large space telescopes delivered jaw-dropping views of more distant parts of the cosmos than ever before. In the early 21st century alone, astronomers discovered thousands of planets around other stars, detected gravitational waves for the first time and produced the first image of a black hole.